Hello Boredom Breakers, Sarah Bitely here, writer-creator of PimpKillah the comic series. Many of you have probably heard of Harvey Pekar's autobiographical comic series American Splendor, ranging from year 1976 to 2008. If you haven't read the comics, then perhaps you've seen the 2003 film starring Paul Giamatti. I chose to pick up Volume 1, published by Vertigo in 2006. There are 4 separate stories within, each commenting on or observing different kinds of relationships with different people in the world. Pekar uses a slew of different artists for his stories, which I found to be very interesting how each artist interprets his words. These are slice-of-life stories that perfectly depict everyday situations and are hilarious and relatable. In the first comic, Pekar collaborates with artist Ty Templeton in What Happened to Your Parents. This story is told in first person and addresses the cycle of life, digging into the character's relationship with his parents and his brother. This story definitely has a more serious overtone than the other stories, since it deals with hopes, dreams, disease, and death. I particularly liked how Templeton used negative space to emphasize the character's frame of mind and place in the world as he sees it. In the second comic, Delicacy, Pekar works with artist Hilary Barta on this airport satire. I think this was a clever yet subtle story we all can relate to. There is no dialogue or description whatsoever. It's pure humor conveyed through panels of the same 2 characters and their reactions. In the day's highlights, artist Gene Hashspiel helps in creating the trials and tribulations of Pekar with his 16-year-old foster daughter when his wife goes out of town. We see Pekar as this hopeful and worried father who is afraid to rock the boat with his daughter. And then we come to see all these little issues and annoyances cease to exist in one day. I liked reading this because it felt like a comment on how we all have a way of monumentalizing our problems and letting them interfere with our mental clarity, which I know I certainly can relate to. The last story of the volume is a 2-page comic strip called Northwest Airlines Goes Socialist. We ascend into the skies with Pekar, who is disgruntled over a bag of peanuts that are no longer free, and the domineering airline stewardess that tries to change his perspective. Art by Greg Budget and Gary Dumm, American Splendor is like a series of real-life vignettes. There are a lot of reoccurring themes throughout the stories, but it works because it's so relatable. Harvey Pekar started writing these types of comics after becoming bored by the formulaic action fantasy comics from the 40s. Pekar's philosophy was comics are words with pictures. You can do anything with words and pictures. I recommend this comic series for anyone who enjoys humor and likes to see a part of themselves in a character. I'm giving American Splendor 10 peanuts out of 10. There's 32 years full of American Splendor, so get to work, people. Once again, I'm Sarah Bitely, writer-creator of PimpKillah. Check me out at pimpkillah.com or on Instagram @Bitely.